All right, so our next presentation is Siskiyou County Drought Plan, Strategies and Resilience. All right, Siskiyou County faces increasing challenges from prolonged drought conditions impacting local communities, agriculture, and natural ecosystems. This presentation will explore the Siskiyou County Siskiyou County Drought Plan and comprehensive strategy designed to enhance water conservation, improve drought preparedness, and promote long-term resilience. We will discuss the historical and current drought patterns in the region, key factors influencing water availability, and the critical role of monitoring and early warning systems. Additionally, the presentation will outline essential water management strategies, including sustainable groundwater use, irrigation efficiency improvements, and emergency response measures. Collaboration is vital in addressing drought-related challenges, and we will highlight the partnerships between local agencies, tribal governments, conservation groups, and state and federal programs. Through proactive planning, innovative solutions, and community engagement, Siskiyou County is working toward a more sustainable and resilient future. Join us to learn how the Siskiyou County Drought Plan aims to mitigate drought impacts and how individuals, businesses, and policymakers can contribute to water conservation efforts. Bryan Schenone, right? All right. Bryan Schenone serves as the director of the Office of Emergency Services for Siskiyou County, California. In this role, he leads the county's disaster management efforts, focusing on preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation to protect the lives and property of residents. Under his leadership, the OES has implemented initiatives such as the Ready Siskiyou Alerts, an upgraded emergency notification system designed to provide timely alerts to the community. Bryan's commitment to emergency management is evident in his proactive approach to disaster preparedness and community safety. He emphasizes the importance of timely and accurate emergency communications to ensure the well-being of Siskiyou County residents. His leadership has been instrumental in enhancing the county's readiness to handle various emergencies, including wildfires, winter storms, and earthquakes. By fostering collaboration among local agencies and promoting public awareness, Bryan continues to strengthen Siskiyou County's resilience against disasters. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Bryan Schenone.
Well, thank you. That was what I would say, actually. So with that, my name is Bryan Schenone. I'm the Director of Emergency Services here for Siskiyou County. I took the position about 4 years ago when somebody told me, when the job opened, I should say, that someone told me that my feet are going to be up on the desk and I'm going to be so bored that I'm not going to know what to do with myself. And well, quite honestly, I'm still waiting for that day. So we have a lot, and as we know, and as we sit here, and those of us that have sat through these last few fire seasons, especially our Shelley fire that's so close to us, we understand the importance of what this means for our community. And one of the things that really for me is disaster risk reduction. It's something that me moving into this position that we've not really seen, and I want to push that forward. So one of the things that for me was very important was bringing a more proactive approach to emergency management in the county, and it's been tough. So we've been reactive because it was one thing right after another. So whether it's stepping into a drought in 2021, and then moving right into the lava fire and everything else that we've had since. So it's been a challenge, but we took a little breath, and we're doing with our partners and ability to come out here and speak to the public. It's been really helpful for us to get that moving forward. So what I'm going to talk about today is our newest drought resilience plan. And am I clicking? Yeah. All right. So really what we've done with that is, first of all, my push coming in was to be able to write plans and update all of our plans to the necessary pieces that make our community, because usually plans are really written generically. It's kind of like overarching, and I don't like that approach. I want it to actually, like, if I pull it off the shelf, I want it to actually apply to us, right? So our emergency operation plan, that was the first one we started with. That's basically how we're gonna deal with everything, and good thing I did that one first. So that has been able to, been approved by the state, and we've used that multiple times. The local hazard mitigation plan, that expired, and then we have basically just pushed that to FEMA like 2 months ago, and we're waiting for that final approval on our local hazard mitigation plan. Our previous hazard mitigation plan, did anybody read it? It was like 1,900 pages. So if anybody read it, it's awesome. Our new one is about 700 pages, and it's a lot more user friendly. Like I can pull it off the shelf in one binder and not like multiple binders. So to me, that was a huge win because it really addresses what the community needs for hazard mitigation, and one of them being drought. In 2021, the Senate Bill SB 552 passed, which was to develop a drought resiliency and start to develop that. We had already started that. So we had a drought task force that we were meeting quarterly and developing a good strategy to start basically addressing all of our needs through agriculture, environmental, and then more importantly, just through fire suppression. So the domestic wells and small systems, both of those were addressed in that. We're seeing that across the board. It's been very, very important. And then 552 required that drought task force and a resiliency plan. And really kind of across the state, the drought resiliency plan, it's been really tough. So no one really knows how to like grab hold of that. We wrote a grant and we got a contractor to help write us that plan. So like, yay me that I don't have to write a drought resiliency plan. So we're in the process. We're in the meat and potatoes of that, and we'll talk more about that. So the grant opportunity really allowed us to focus on the groundwork while the plan was being written or is being developed. Our partners with that is that Department of Natural Resource, the County Environmental Health has been a huge part of that. CalOES, California Department of Water Resources. But the one thing that I want to talk about is, as we go through this, is we're going to talk about you, like how you can be involved. We have multiple more public meetings coming, and it's a great way to spend 2 hours of your evening listening to people talk about drought at your dinner table. Next slide, please. So this is what we developed. These are our impacted areas, our groundwater basin, and our Sigma priority areas, which is our high, medium, and then low and very low. But as you can see, the Scott Valley is we've had some dry wells reported throughout 2020 into 2023. And one of the things that is really important is that as we see dry wells develop, that no one wants to push that. No one wants to be like, well, I have a dry well, but I don't want to tell you about it. Can you tell me where it's at? No, I don't want anybody to know about it. But that doesn't do us any good when we're writing the drought resiliency plan, because I can't just make up numbers and I have to have some idea. So what we did is we wrote almost like a heat map. And if you can see, you can kind of see where like the larger numbers in the 2023 area, 2022, as we all know, is a very significant drought. So we were looking at that through the 2022 area, and we were getting some areas that were a little out of our comfort zone. We're like, oh, this is starting to happen kind of across the county. So that's when we stepped up. The drought task force started building more of a, what are we going to do and how are we going to do this into the future? Next slide, please. So the plan, and we'll talk about that here in a moment, but as the plan starts to develop and we start to build ideas on how we can, like I said, develop that disaster risk reduction. One of the things that we need to do is how do we use water in groups like this and forums like this is a great way to build that relationship. So when we have that, and some of this I'm going to talk on behalf of environmental health, but pushing that to environmental health, understanding that we have multiple uses of water, right? Water is what we're going to fight over. But one of our biggest things that, as we saw in the Shelley fire this year, was suppression of fire and digging. That was big. So for our drought plan, this year, we wanted them to develop that. we're gonna be one of the first areas, especially Scott Valley, first areas in California that's really gonna develop that plan to address what does it look like for fire suppression into ag water or environmental waters that we are all looking at. It wasn't really taken seriously. Well, yeah, okay, Siskiyou County. And then the LA fires happened. And we go, okay, yeah, we should probably look at this. Maybe Siskiyou County knows what they're talking about. We're like, yeah, we actually do. We do this a lot. So one of the things that for me is being able to have this like every year, right? We're having something, we're having a disaster, we're having something. So we can push what needs to happen at a smaller level to the bigger level and say, hey, we're already doing this. So one of the things that we've done is we've developed that and we've really earmarked our time and our plan to develop the wildfire and what that looks like for suppression versus ag and environment. So for you, kind of our next steps. So our public outreach, you'll probably see my face a little bit more on these type of forums. Public notices and dating, not dating. But the public notices, the meeting dates are always posted in advance. Board of Supervisors, our Drought Task Force update, that's coming to the Board of Supervisors. So there's gonna be 2 outreach surveys. And I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of homework, but that's gonna be one of the things where I'm getting your input. And you can beat us up on that. I'm okay with that. Beat us up, let us know what is the tune out there. Because otherwise we're gonna write a plan that's generic and then it doesn't suit you and it doesn't suit you and it doesn't suit what we do as a county. So collaboration with relevant agencies. We're gonna see more of these. We're gonna see forums that we can talk about and develop a good lasting drought resiliency plan. What I don't want is another plan that holds up a bunch of other plans. So a drought resiliency plan in this context should really state what we want as a county. And then next slide. So this is our, these are how to reach me, OES3@readysiskiyou.gov. Sometimes if you want to say good job, that's cool. But otherwise, no, you just want to beat me up, you can email me there too. I'm okay with that. We have our Drought County, this Drought Siskiyou Hub at RGIS. But if you just type in Siskiyou County Drought Task Force, the website pops up and we're updating it constantly, everything that information for you. So that is really all I have. I want to talk about our Drought Task Force and one question.
We'll ask for questions.
If we want to take the survey, do we need to sign up here or how did the surveys go out?
Yes, so you'll see them on our Siskiyou County OES page. Siskiyou County Facebook pages are very active. And the like button and subscribe. And I was wanting to say that. So that's a great way to do it. We have our website, which is the drought. Our Ready Siskiyou will have links to it. And then it'll be pushed out, and then we'll push out to this type of forum and anything else. So the more participation, the better.
Yeah, Bryan, I've worked for the county for 8 years as the natural resource policy specialist from 2007 to 2015. So I don't know you on this job, but I did work with OES. It sounds like the board found a really good guy to do that job. But one of the things, my experience with OES and working with the state of California is that they weren't really that interested in helping Siskiyou County. The state sort of, I mean, with everything going on, they weren't really facilitating a very productive and good relationship. How are you finding that relationship with the state in terms of helping the county with some of the things that they're mandating to you and some of the things that are showing up on the horizon?
Yeah, great question. So that was me pushing early and often. I can be a little bit annoying, so I'm annoying to the state and I push on the state a lot, right? And we are up here, right? We tend to forget about Siskiyou County. One of my initial goals was to make it so the fact that they keep. So we're gonna do, we rolled out Siskiyou.gov, we rolled out alert warning systems, we rolled out things that the rest of the state was not doing. And now they have adopted a lot of the emergency management practices that we're doing. So that caught the eye of everybody. At one point, I hate to even say this, but the governor was asking like how we were doing and what was going on. So just because we had been through so much with the mill fire and the King fire, the back to back to back to back. So that was one of those that I still get a little bit of grief of. Everybody, yeah, I'm using myself. But one time. So, but yes, that's one of the things for us, really just making sure that our presence is known and really being on the forefront of emergency management has been my goal. And with that, it's we're getting there. Yeah, thanks, sure.